Wait, stop right there. You might want to watch this video to the end. Hi, this is Shayna with Against the Grain Homestead. In this economy, you may be looking for ways on how to feed your family healthy, wholesome, and mostly organic food on a pretty small budget. In this video, I will show you how we do that without using coupons or even shopping sales. This video is the introductory video to a video series I did called Week of Meals video series. That video series is all in a playlist. It'll be linked below in this video, as well as the other videos in that series. There will be a total of 9 videos, so 7 videos, 1 video from each day of the week, this video, and then a weekly meal prep video. I have some notes. In this video you are currently watching, this video is going to cover, I'm going to introduce the video series, I'm going to tell you the purpose of this series and why I did it, and what I learned about food stamps. Now, before you quit watching, we do not get food stamps or any kind of assistance whatsoever. Okay, so do not think that I'm using food stamps in order to keep the food budget low. We are not. We've never received that. So keep watching if you want to know how we keep our food budget as low as it is and still are able to consume mostly organic food. In this video, I will also show you the cost of the week of meals in that video series. And the last thing that this video will go over is something I really want to help make people aware of. And it has to do with cost, but so on this week of meals video series, like I said, there are 7 days. All of the meals that I made for those 7 days, breakfast, lunch, and supper, I am going to take those same meals and I'm going to do 3 cost comparisons. One will be how much it costs to make all those meals using store-bought ingredients, and the ingredients are conventionally raised, which means many of them might be genetically modified. They will not be organic. They will be the cheapest cheap items that you can find in the store. And I'll have the total price on that. Then I'll have the total price for better quality ingredients, which will be mostly organic if it's an option, or just a better, maybe a more natural option. And the third cost I will have is how much we actually spend, because we do things a little differently. Before I forget, I want to mention that in the description box below, not only will you find the playlist for this video series, you will also find other links. The other links will include the Dirty Dozen, a meal planner that I made for those of you that like to meal plan, a budget pack that I made for those that really need to, get a budget in order, and also videos to my freezer tour video, and then I have 2 pantry tour videos. So let's go ahead and introduce this series. Now let's introduce this video series. As I said, this video series is going to contain 9 videos. It's going to have this video, which is the introduction. It's going to have 1 video on prepping the meals for the entire week, like things to do in advance, and then there will be 1 video for each day, so a total of 9 videos. So those daily meal videos will include breakfast, lunch, supper, and any snacks if we had any that day. Also, in each meal plan video, there will be several recipes given in the video or on my website, againstthegrainhomestead.com. There will also be money-saving tips and tricks and how-tos kind of sprinkled throughout all the videos, okay? So it's just, as I'm making the video, I'm talking, or maybe I'm adding in, little words going across the screen, little blurbs up here. So that'll be in all the videos. This week of meal plan that is in the series, it was for the first week of January 2024, okay? And so the prices are relevant to when I made that video series. Now, normally I don't meal plan like I did for that series. I have my own system, and I'm working on a book that'll show you that system, and it'll show you much more in depth with, like, this series is just touching the bare surface. So the book I am working on shows you each little thing that we keep in stock, how I make everything, how I have things stored away, kind of my system for meal planning, because I don't actually meal plan anymore. But anyway, that book is in the works. I'm hoping it'll be out sometime this year. But in the meantime, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my website, againstthegrainhomestead.com. You'll find a link below. That way, when I do have it ready, you'll be one of the first ones to know. Okay, but back to meal planning. So like I said, in that week of meal plan video series, I actually planned, because I wanted to make sure that I treated this as if you guys, were going to the store buying everything, like you basically had no ingredients. And so I needed to make sure that I had every little thing. So I did plan it down to a T pretty well. And by doing so, we spent considerably more than we usually do. But again, I will do the cost comparison and go into that with you. Now let's talk about the purpose of this series, why I did it, and what I'm wanting you to take away from this. The purpose of this video series is to show anyone watching this that you can eat healthy, wholesome, and even mostly organic food for much cheaper than you think you can. Okay, that is the purpose of this. Now, why? Why did I feel the motivation to share this purpose and create this video series? First, let me go back just a little bit and kind of give you a little bit of background. I have my notes again. In this video series, you will see the way we cook. The way we cook shown in this series is how we have always cooked. It's just me. It's just how, it's what I know, okay? I don't really think of it as anything new or elaborate or unorthodox. It's just how it's always been. So because of that, I figured that, I guess I never really thought that other people don't cook like this. I guess I just assumed that it was well known and very commonplace, so there was no reason to ever create this type of series. However, here's getting to the why. A while back, a friend of mine brought it to my attention that the Missouri food stamp program, called the SNAP benefits, she told me how the amount that a family of 4 receives from the state government just went up. And she told me how much they receive. But the amount of money that she told me that the Missouri state government gives for a family of 4 with 2 kids, 11 years and younger, that amount was shocking. I literally could not believe it. So I had to go and look it up myself. So what I found out, I actually looked it up to see what the Missouri state gives out in food stamps. Again, for a family of 4, 2 kids, 2 adults, 2 kids, ages 11 and under. And then I also looked up the USDA food plan with what they say a family of 4, the same age kids, needs. Okay, and the USDA has their, what they call a thrifty food plan. I will put that link in the description box below. Now, here's what I learned in my notes. Okay, so for a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids under 11 years of age, for January of 2024, the USDA's thrifty food plan, they say it costs to eat $975.90 a month. That is just for food. No pet food, no livestock food, no makeup, no medicine, no toilet paper, no light bulbs or cleaning products or household items of any kind. Just food. And that food is not at restaurants. It's not at drive-thrus. It's not eating out. It is just food. And the USDA calls their food plan the thrifty plan because they are expecting the people to buy the food, bring it home, and actually prepare it. So I was floored that it could cost $975.90 a month for a family of 4 with 2 little kids just in food that's prepared at home. Just food. I was so shocked. And I'm still really shocked. The word thrifty means frugal. It means you are wise with your money, you are cautious with your money, and you spend wisely. So With that price, with that amount that they gave being so high, I literally could not imagine what these people could be eating. I mean, I don't know. I cannot even imagine consuming. Like, I don't know how our stomachs could even hold that amount of money, of food every month. I seriously do not understand it. Now, the reason it shocked me right off the bat when she first told me is because we literally spend hundreds, hundreds of dollars less than that every single month. And we eat healthy, wholesome, and mostly organic food, and we spend hundreds less. Again, sprinkled throughout those videos are tips and tricks on how we do that, and also the book I am working on will share much more in depth with how we do that, okay? And to coincide with that, so the USDA Thrifty Plan family of 4 was $975.90 a month, right? Now, the Missouri SNAP benefit for a family of 4, again, 2 kids under the age of 11, for 2024, they say $973. So you can see the USDA is just an extra $2.90 a month. So they are very much in agreement with that's the price that a family of 4 needs to spend. So as I was researching this, I was reading articles where people were saying that simply is not enough, and people are going hungry. I do know, and I do understand, I completely know, because I've seen it for myself, how food prices vary from state to state and even different areas in each state. I know that, okay? I know that. However, this was Missouri, okay, for the $973, and I live in Missouri. Now, prior to learning about this, I had been aching for those that are financially struggling due to this administration's crippling policies and record inflation. My heart was just truly grieving for those people. However, when I found out about the benefits they can get, I was just shocked. I was like, how in the world can they still be hungry with hundreds of dollars given to them more than we spend? So I began to wonder why, and then it kind of occurred to me that maybe there are many people out there that do not know how to cook the way I do or how to shop the way I do. So that is why I went ahead and decided to make this video series. So I gave you an introduction into what the series is about, the purpose of it, why I did it, and now let's go over the cost to make this week of meals, and let's compare the conventional, the better options, and then the way that we do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the cost on what it actually costs to make all these meals for the week, okay? And again, I'm going to give you the cost on 3 different ways. They're all going to be the same meals, the same ingredients, just the quality of ingredients will change. So we're going to go over the conventional price, the better price, and then what we actually pay. So again, to remind you, the conventional method, this cost is assuming that you do not have access to bulk food, like bulk grains or anything like that. It's also assuming you don't have access to local meat or dairy. It's also assuming that you do not garden or can. So it's assuming that you are going into the store, whether Walmart or Aldi, and you are buying the cheapest sticker priced item you can find. And those usually mean they're going to be genetically modified. They're not going to be organic. They might contain hydrogenated oils, just a lesser quality ingredients. Okay, that's going to be the conventional route. The second price I'm going to give you will be for better ingredients. So these are some bulk items that are accessible to everybody. And then it's also some of the ingredients, most of them are going to be organic if there's an organic option. If not, there's going to be a better option if there is one. And then the third price will be what we actually spend. Okay, and I'll kind of touch base on a little bit on what we do. So before I give you the price, let me reiterate that this menu plan that I did here was so much more. I spent so much more than I normally do. And a big reason of that is because in the video series that I did, I made breakfast, like I think I made 4 or 5 like breakfast meals. We don't normally eat like that. We have eggs and toast. My daughter usually has supper from the night before for her breakfast. That's what she's done for a long time. That's what she likes. And myself, I usually just have coffee for breakfast. My husband will have eggs and sausage. So our breakfasts are very simple and very cheap. But I wanted to give you not just a whole price range, but I wanted to also give you ideas on meals as well. So because of that, those breakfasts really increased the amount that we spent. Okay, so we do not ever spend this much in 1 week, ever. Okay, so we had those breakfasts that we do not do on a regular basis at all. Also, those meals that I made for supper each night, we are not big eaters. We eat until we're full, but it doesn't take much to fill us up. So I don't normally have to cook 4 or 5 different meals the entire week. I might make 3, and then, we always eat leftovers, but I don't remember how many I made that week in the video series, but we still had leftovers from that week into the next week. Let's go ahead and show you what we spent. I have my computer notes here with the little math and all that. Okay, ready? So for the first week of January 2024, for all those meals, breakfast, lunch, and supper, if you were to buy those ingredients, assuming you don't have anything, if you were to buy those ingredients conventionally in the store, it would cost $127.81. The cost to buy those same ingredients but better options would cost $148.64. Our cost of those ingredients and the way we do things was $121.66. So let's go over the price differences. So to purchase better, mostly organic ingredients in the store over conventional in the store is an extra $20.83. So there's a saying that goes, you can pay the farmer now or the doctor later. Our ingredients that we used are actually better. So it goes conventional, better, and ours. Ours are better than the better ingredients, okay? And we still saved money than the conventional ingredients. So we actually spent the less of them all with a savings of $6.15. When I did all these price points on all these individual ingredients, I compared from Aldi and Walmart, okay, and I found the best deal. Now you may not have an Aldi where you live, you may have a different stores that you can get a better deal at. I don't know. We don't do Costco or Sam's Club or anything like that. I may have stated earlier, we don't shop sales or coupons. That's not me. And I only selected the items that were available in my area. So some of these items might not be available in your area, or you might have some better quality items available than what we have. Okay, so keep those things in mind. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some pictures, and then each picture will have a price in red, like a price per ounce or price per pound or price per each or whatever the unit is. And I will compare conventional to a better option. At times I might be able to compare 3 pictures at the same time. So if you want, feel free to pause the video, and you can actually look at it and take notes if you want. But I do have some food items that I really want to make you aware of. So I have all the ingredients that I bought and the 3 different price comparisons and any little notes, okay? So the first thing I want to go over is a whole chicken. So you'll see on day 1, I had a whole chicken roast. Okay, so the conventional chicken that you could buy was a whole chicken, and it was Tyson brand from Walmart, raw, and it was $1.32 a pound. The better option is organic, and it's what we buy, it's $2.79 a pound. Now that's a pretty big price difference. I know that, okay? But let's just keep going. So the cost for that whole chicken for the organic one was $15.82. The cost for the Tyson one was $7.37. So I know the Tyson one is about half the price. I know that. That's very tempting. And if that's what you have to do, that is fine. That's what you have to do. Just pray over your food. I pray that God will bless it for the nourishment of your bodies, and it's what you got to do. So I pointed out the Tyson for $7.37 for a whole raw chicken. I pointed out the organic one for $15.82 for a whole raw organic chicken. The third chicken option, and this is what many people do, they will buy a rotisserie chicken. And yes, they taste good. I mean, who hasn't bought a rotisserie chicken? They taste good. So the cheapest one I could find was at Walmart. And a rotisserie chicken is already cooked. It's a whole chicken already cooked. It was $3.10 a pound. So for the same size as the organic chicken, the Tyson chicken, and this rotisserie chicken, the rotisserie chicken was $15.59. Okay? Yes, it's already cooked, but it's not organic. You're getting basically a Tyson chicken. For basically the same price, you can get an organic chicken. Okay? So keep those things in mind. So I wanted to point the chicken out. Another thing I really want you to note are potatoes. Okay? So potatoes, they are sprayed. Many of them are genetically modified as well. But the cheapest potatoes I found was for 54 cents a pound. These are the conventional potatoes. If you were to go to Walmart and buy organic potatoes, they would be $1.61 a pound. Again, that's a big price difference, right? But you can order organic potatoes from As Your Standard for 92 cents a pound. That's what we do. I will buy 50-pound bags at a time, and I will can them all up, and we will have organic canned potatoes, and they are so nice. So right there, for an extra 38 cents a pound, you get organic potatoes. And yes, it's still more expensive, but again, pay the farmer now or pay the doctor later. Okay, here's another one that I wanted to point out. Milk. Cheap conventional milk around here is $3.82 a gallon. This is for whole milk, by the way. So whole milk, $3.82 a gallon. You could buy a gallon of store-bought organic milk. It's not raw, just organic, and it's $6.98 a gallon. That's a lot. Or maybe you could find a local dairy or someone down the road that has their own milk goat or milk cow. We actually pay $3 a gallon for milk, and it is raw, and it is so healthy and so good for you. The cow is on grass, she's on pasture, she is, free to roam. It's really good stuff. Okay, here's another one to point out. Eggs. The conventional eggs, if the carton does not say cage-free, then the chickens are kept in cages. Okay, and those are the cheapest eggs you can get. Those eggs I priced out here, they were $2.06 for a dozen. If you were to buy better store-bought eggs, it would be $3.96 a dozen. So about $1.90 extra per dozen. That is pretty excessive. However, if you are able to raise your own chickens, or maybe there's someone down the street from you or down the road that has their own chickens that you can buy from them that are better and hopefully much cheaper for you. We raise our own chickens, and our chickens are completely free range. Like foxes get them, hawks got them sometimes. They can literally run away. They are so free range. However, we still do feed them some. And our feed prices, they change based on what season it is. But right now, it costs us about $1.36 a dozen for our eggs. Okay, so they are cheaper than the cheapest conventional eggs, and they are so much more healthy for you. Let's talk about yogurt. For a 32-ounce container of yogurt, conventionally, it costs $2.45. To buy an organic option, it is $4.19. We don't buy yogurt. We make our own yogurt out of the raw milk that's already $3 a gallon. For us to make our own homemade yogurt, It's $1.25 for a 32 ounce. So you can see we're saving money right there. Now let's talk about butter. You can, and this is for real butter, like the actual sticks of butter, not margarine. That's not butter. That's fake, bad stuff for you. But these are actual sticks of butter that come in little cardboard 1 pound boxes. So if you buy the cheapest real butter, it is $3.69 a pound. If you buy better quality, which at Aldi it's organic butter, it is $6.05 a pound. Yes, that's a nice little price jump too. However, we make our own butter. Now sometimes I do have to buy it, but pretty much we always make our own butter. When we make our own butter, it is 95 cents a pound, and it's made from raw milk. Now let's talk about oats. For one of those cardboard containers of oats from Aldi, it's 42 ounces and it costs $3.98 for that 42 ounce container. They are not organic. They are sprayed with chemicals. There's nothing, special about them. Or you can buy organic oats, and this one is pretty excessive because the only organic oats I could find in the store were from Bob's Red Mill, I believe, and it was $8.23 for 42 ounces. That is a big difference. However, we buy oats in 25 and 50 pound bags from Azure Standard. So for 42 ounces of organic oats from Azure Standard, we pay $2.94. So we actually get organic oats cheaper than you do the non-organic oats. Now let's talk about pork sausage or just ground pork. We make our own sausage. Each year we buy 1 to 2 whole hogs. These hogs are organic. They are pasture raised. They are raised by a guy down closer to where we used to live. From him, we can get all of our pork. Ground pork, we do not get sausage. We get ground pork, bacon, pork chops, pork steak, Boston butts, hams, whatever else, like the entire thing. And we pay a lump sum. We divide it by how many pounds we get, and it averages out. Now each year it's different, but this past year it averaged out to $3.25 a pound for organic pork. And we make our own sausage seasoning, so we just mix that in and voila, we have sausage. In the store, the only ground pork that was not sausage but just plain ground pork that I could find is made by Tyson. Again, Tyson's not good quality, and it was $3.51 a pound, so it's actually higher to do not organic versus organic for us. So I have a few more that I want to go over, price points I want to go over. And this is a big one. This is probably one that I should have started off with. It is a big one, and it is beef, ground beef. So again, we buy a bulk order of beef once a year from one of our friends. He raises beef down, again, where we used to live. And his cattle, they have hundreds of acres to free range on. Okay, they're pasture raised. They are just out there. Now pay attention to this one, because this price comparison is just shocking. Ready? If you were to go into the store and you buy conventional beef, let's say you wanted to buy the 93% lean beef, okay? The conventional beef, and that is like pinned up, grain fed. These are cattle that are in just close confined quarters, but let's say you go and buy that, okay? It is $5.69 a pound. That is insane for junk meat. Now keep that in mind, $5.69 a pound for junk beef. Or you can go to Aldi and you can buy organic grass-fed beef for $4.99 a pound. That's a huge deal, considering that junk beef is junk, and it's so much more expensive than organic grass-fed beef, okay? Now, the beef we get, like I told you from a friend down there, again, we buy the beef We pay him a lump sum, we get our beef, we divide the amount we get by how much we paid. So it divides out to about $4.35 a pound, okay? And that again is for steaks of all kinds, brisket, ground beef, all kinds of different roast, rump roast, chuck roast, arm roast, like the entire beef, okay? Plus, we also get the bones. We can cook down for broth. Just like with the pork, we get the fat, we can make into lard. We also get the bones, smoke for our dog or whatever. So 93% beef, conventionally raised, is $5.69 a pound. Aldi organic beef, $4.99 a pound. And then the way we buy it is $4.35 a pound. Okay? Now let's go over a percentage of beef that most people buy, and that is the 85% beef. Okay, like 85% lean and 15% fat. The conventional 85% beef, the cheapest price I found was at Aldi, and it's $5.05 a pound. $5.05 a pound. At Aldi, you can buy organic grass-fed 85% beef for $5.19 a pound. So that's just an extra 14 cents a pound for organic grass-fed. So much better for you. Again, ours is $4.35 a pound. Okay, I have two left I want to go over. I'm going to go over apples, but I'm just going to kind of run through it real quick. Conventional apples, the cheapest I could find was $1.37 a pound. Organic apples, Aldi's organic apples was $1.46 a pound, so it's about 9 cents higher a pound. And we buy those, or we'll buy them organic wherever, but apples are something that we always do buy organic. If we can't get them organic, we don't get them. As your standard, a few times a year, I buy 20-pound boxes of apples, okay? They have 20 pounds of like eating apples, like Red Delicious or Gala or something, that are organic, and it's $1.20 a pound. So you get 20 pounds of them. They are organic, and they are the fresh eating apples, and they are cheaper than the conventional and even the Aldi organic. The boxes that I usually buy a few times a year is a 20-pound box of organic, what they call juicing apples from Azure Standard, and that averages out to 82 cents a pound. That is a lot cheaper. And they're called juicing apples because they're getting a little softer, and the box has mixed varieties in there. So they kind of expect you to turn it into applesauce or apple jelly or, something like that, which is what we use them for. But they are still good enough to go ahead and just snack on and eat. It's just with 20 pounds, we go ahead and, we'll make applesauce and stuff. Okay, the last one I want to go over is also a surprising one, and it's peanut butter. The cheapest peanut butter I could find, the conventional one at Walmart, turns out to be 10 cents an ounce. Now this was the cheapest one, and it is full of hydrogenated oils, which you do not want. But the surprising thing is that Walmart also sells a natural peanut butter for the same price, 10 cents an ounce. And it's natural. It is just peanuts, salt, there might be sugar, I don't remember right now, but there's no hydrogenated oils in there. You want to stay away from hydrogenated oils? So I thought that was really neat. Now for us, we do buy the organic jars of peanut butter, but not all the time. We keep our eye out for really good sales. So currently I have 60 pounds of natural peanut butter downstairs, and it turns out the price is $1 a pound, which is 6 cents an ounce. Okay? So I am paying less and getting a better quality ingredient. Our 60 pounds of peanut butter down there, it is just peanuts. That's it. Okay, so those are the prices that I really wanted to cover with you. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of those different price points and different types of ingredients. This video is not over yet, but I do hope that it will open your eyes, maybe encourage you to go out, and look at Azure, or if there's any other place like Azure. Maybe it'll help to encourage you, inspire you to think outside the box. Maybe buy in bulk, maybe seek out a dairy farmer, meat farmer, a local egg person if you don't raise your own chicken. And some of those ingredients, like let's take apples for example. I showed you how the organic, like you just buy a 2 or 3 pound bag of organic apples, whether from whatever store, and they might cost a few cents more than the conventional ones. But you have more peace of mind that they shouldn't be sprayed with anything, they shouldn't be genetically modified, things like that. But don't think, you're just like, throwing money out, because you can use those peels and make apple vinegar. I have a video on that. I have several videos. Like, same way with citrus. We buy organic citrus if possible. Sometimes the stores don't always have it, but when they do, we buy organic citrus. Okay, and the price is a little bit higher, but not all is lost, because those citrus peels, whether lemon, orange, mandarin, lime, it doesn't matter, can make citrus vinegar. Okay, so if you start thinking outside the box, and you can take all these fruit scraps and fruit peels and all this and make vinegar out of them, or something else depending on what it is. Like if you didn't want to make vinegar out of the apple peels, you can make apple jelly out of the apple peels. I have a video on that as well. But if you take these extra things, like these peels and such, and make another product, that might be savings that you wouldn't have to buy the other product. So if you get in the habit of making vinegar out of these organic stuff, maybe then you wouldn't have to buy vinegar. Now, you have to do what is best for your family and your budget. We are not able to buy 100% of everything organic. We grow a lot and we buy organic with what we can, but we are not able to buy 100% everything organic. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes there are things that I normally buy organic, but then maybe another bill came up, so that month I'll decide to, to not buy organic oranges, but or organic something, whereas I normally would. You just have to evaluate from month to month, week to week, depending on how you get paid, and make the best choices. And another thing is, where we live, there's not organic options for everything. But I do have one thing that we do stick by, and that is the Dirty Dozen, linked below. It gives you the top 12 fresh produce items that are most likely to be heavily sprayed with pesticides. Those items are the ones that, when we need those items, we do buy organic. Okay, apples is always on that list, so that's an example I always use. So we always buy organic apples. I think strawberries and blueberries might be on that list, so we always buy organic strawberries or blueberries. So anything that's on that list are the things that we buy organic. Okay, so this is how we work. If there is something that we want that's on the Dirty Dozen, and I know I only want to buy organic, and let's say there is no organic option at all, we don't buy it. I will modify a recipe, we will improvise, or we just won't have that, period. Simple, okay? That's just what we do. So if you do want to switch over to buying organic, but you're not sure where to start and it feels overwhelming to try to buy everything organic, just look at a couple things. Look at what's the one thing, or 2 or 3, depending on if you can afford it. What's the one thing that your family consumes the most often, the most quantity? Whatever that is, see if there's an organic option to replace that with, okay? Because the less toxins you put into their body, the better. If there's not an organic option, first of all, see if you can just make it instead. Make it from scratch, cook it from scratch, whatever, or improvise. And if there's not an organic option, move on to the next one. What's the next thing that they consume the most of? And just do the best you can, okay? Even organic foods, unfortunately, many of them are tainted. Some of them do test and show up that they do have pesticide residue on them. We live in a fallen world. Not everything is going to be as it should be. Not everything that says organic is going to be 100% organic, because technically it doesn't have to be 100% organic to be labeled as organic, unfortunately. But you do have some peace of mind knowing that even if it does have some, pesticide use or some bad stuff to it, it shouldn't have, and it's really not going to have as much as a non-organic one would. And if you're new to Azure or you don't know anything about them, I will also have a link to Azure in the description box below. I have been ordering from them since 2011. I've been a drop coordinator back where I used to live, and I'm a drop coordinator up here. So Azure is just a great company. They're easy to work with, great customer service. The food is good. I've never had any issue with any food item that I've ever bought. Everything's just great. But if you have never ordered through them and you don't have an account and you're interested, please use my link below if you don't mind and sign up. And if you order, I can get a little commission off of your first order only if you're a new customer and only if you use my link. And so that'd be great. Thank you. But bottom line, do the best that you can for you and your family, and don't stress, don't get overwhelmed, don't worry about it. Just do your best. And, like I said earlier, whatever you eat, just pray, have faith, and pray to God that He will bless the food to the nourishment of your body, and just leave the rest up to Him. So thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful, inspiring, maybe even eye-opening.